Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We're about to hear from Patrick Kirkwood. This is going to be the last presentation, believe it or not, the last competitor presentation. Maybe Eddie and Graham, maybe give us some of your takeaways, some of your reflections, what you're thinking about now going into the weekend and having watched a lot and, interacted with a lot of our competitors.
I'm just staggered by some of the solutions, some of the creativity, and of course the passion. You see this in many entrepreneurs, but the speakers have been tremendous across the panoply of different solutions, diagnostics, medical healthcare records, new ways of screening for antibodies, drug discovery. It's been a real honor and pleasure to take part and get to know these entrepreneurs more, but also how their solutions are going to be helping people. And I think that's the underlying reason why most of us do this, is to improve people's lives and improve patients' lives.
Yeah, I'd echo that, Tim. Been really fascinated and I think thrilled by just the level of innovation and the new way of thinking, and what's really I think grasped my attention is that it's spread the whole gamut of drug and device development. We've got some innovators like right at the early stages of discovery, and even looking for targets, and then at the other end we've got some of those potential solutions that really impact patients, people, right, in order to improve their well-being. So just seeing that whole spectrum, I think, has been really insightful. A lot of learning for me. I 27 years in the pharma industry, but it's unusual that you get that spectrum, right? You're normally working in a particular section or function, and sure, you may see some of the others, but rarely do you see that whole spectrum. So for me, I've always been keen on fostering, curiosity and learning, and that so far has been one of my takeaways.
I think you both captured it very well. Every day as we approach the semifinals, I'm a little bit saddened that the event is coming to an end. Because I still have so much to review myself as an organizer and as a host, and to put this event together. There's a lot more that I have to learn, and I'm just truly, just like you both said, I'm really inspired. I'm inspired by our innovators, and I'm really proud of these best ideas, the concepts and products that we have actually been able to showcase here. And I'm looking forward to your help, both of you and others, to spread the word about these competitors. They've been sharing some of their milestones also, Eddie, Graham, right? And over the last 2 weeks, some of them have been able to get commitment. So they're continuing to build momentum and that's great to see. It's also, we're all supporting, I think, each one as like looking outside as a host, as an organizer. I can only imagine what they must be going through, right? It's quite intense. They're busy, they're traveling, and they're presenting here as well, in a kind of a limited environment virtually, but we're getting to know them, and I'm doing my best to support each and every one of them in as best as we can, and also kind of root, really want each one to do really well. So my last maybe question to you both is, what are some pointers or some advice maybe you would like to give to them? Because now at the semifinals, this will be yet another time you'll be hearing this. How can they succeed? They've been addressing a lot of the questions I've noticed. We've all noticed that. But what are some just final tips that you'd like to share with the competitors to do well?
I think, having seen a lot of presentations in many different platforms and forums, the ones that capture your attention are the people who are best at telling stories with excitement. They're all passionate, you can see that. But it's capturing your attention up front, explaining the big why, and capturing you emotionally, and being very succinct in your storytelling, very intentional with your audience. And I think less is often more. They're all bringing great technologies and solutions. Less data, just more of a high-level description of what the need is, why your solution is going to solve that need and what's unique about it, and drawing that audience in. That's one aspect. So it's kind of like the performance. But the other aspect is, how are you going to commercialize it? And physicians, scientists, myself, I was a bench scientist for many a year, and engineers, we do tend to focus on the solution more than actually how you get it to market, how you commercialize it. So even at very early stages,
so this goes for both concept and product. I want to. Okay.
Yes, and I think even at the early stages, one has to show, especially to investors, that there is a commercial possibility, that you have thought about it, and not just hope that you'll find your niche, as it were, and where the application will fit and which audience will pay. I think having that pathway to the commercial market, which will keep your venture afloat and make it successful, I think that's key. So a little bit more thought about that.
Okay, so that's what you're looking for, Graham. Thank you very much. Yeah, Eddie, what else?
Yeah, for me, I certainly agree with the storytelling bit. Much of the work that I do with my consultancies around storytelling, what I call conversational science, and communicating the why and why something has value, and you should care about it, right? And often in the scientific medical fields, we fall back on numbers.
Right.
Hey, what's your A1C level? Well, okay, 8 doesn't really matter. But if someone tells me, if you take this drug, you can now play with your grandchildren, or you can walk down to the end of your street and back again, enjoy the outdoors, then it's a hook, right? It's an engagement. Now I start caring about it. And if you can build that up front and be succinct about it and really tailor it to the audience, then the kind of financials and all of that follow, because you've established the need in that way. And then the second bit for me is for them, which touches, I think, on what Graham was also alluding to, touching on the system and where your potential solution is going, and will it actually fit, right, and make a difference. And like for a non-scientific example, I always think about the Segway, right, that was bandied around as being the next revolution in transport vehicle, and it failed miserably, right? In that sense, it didn't take into account of things like weather conditions, traffic flows, pavement, sidewalks, stairs, and it's a brilliant solution as a standalone, but unless you have that systems thinking in mind and seeing how it's going to fit into the whole environment, then I think that commercialization piece is very difficult to execute on.
The off-road version of that one was particularly not well thought out. If you
that's right.
Stopped it in its tracks, or actually didn't stop in its tracks.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Thank you both for your time. We wish Patrick good luck and all the other competitors. So now it's down to the votes. Feel free, if you have any other outstanding questions, Eddie, Graham, for Patrick, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, make your voting decisions based on his performance and the bias board over the course of the last 2 weeks, and all the interactions you've had with him, or that he's had publicly with everyone. So thank you very much. See you soon. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.